Good morning, daily adventurers. Today we are on our way to Sydney's oldest and most prestigious sporting avenue, the Sydney Cricket Ground. Okay guys, we are here at the SCG. So if you're a cricket fan, it must be in your bucket list to come and watch a game here in the SCG, and I hope you do. And when you do notice that there are quite a lot of old buildings over here, old sections over here, and there are newer sections over there. Why is that? It's because the SCG was built in the 1800s. Now there's one section here called the Members Pavilion. That was the first section, and it happens to be Gate A, rightly so. Let me go show it to you. Oh. So we are here at the Members Pavilion. You can see the old font over there on the top. So the Members Pavilion was the first stand that was built here in the SCG. And after this one, they built the Brewongle section. That's the Gate B over there. So they built the Members Pavilion in 1878. And the Brewongle section was built in 1882. And then came the ladies' stand, which is this one, which was built in 1896. Now back in the day there was only these three sections, and they built like two big hills. One was there and the other one was on the other end, so that the spectators can sit down and watch the match. And there was another hill in the center as well called the Bob Hill, because it used to cost one bob during the Depression to watch the match. So when the ladies' stand was built, there was also a cycle track, concrete cycle track that was built around the stadium where the lights are right now. And George Bradman, father of Don Bradman, was one of the carpenters who worked on that cycle track. But later, when people wanted to play games in the evenings, that cycle track was replaced with these lights, and they happen to be on the cycle track. So that's a brief history about the different sections here. And if you look at about there, the different stands, in 1930 Don Bradman was doing pretty well, and he was drawing quite a lot of crowd, and they used that money to build the different stands, and one of the stands happened to be Don Bradman's stand. Now that's a brief history about the stadium. But what made them build the stadium over here? Who were the people who instigated the need to build the stadium over here? What were the events? If you want to know all that, we'll have to go away from here and go to Hyde Park. So guys, we are in the Hyde Park right now. We are here because in 1803 people used to play cricket over here. So none of this was there. It was an open ground where people used to walk around, animals used to graze, and people used to try and play cricket. And the second reason why we came to Hyde Park is because of this man. Major General Lachlan Macquarie. He was the Governor General of New South Wales from 1810 to 1821. So 1 year into being the Governor General of New South Wales, he sanctioned the second Sydney Common, which was 1.5 miles wide all the way from Oxford Street to Randwick. Now SCG falls in this area. That's why we are talking about this man. Now the second thing that falls in this area is Victoria Barracks. The Victoria Barracks is important because it actually dictated why the SCG is where it is in this 1.5 miles area which Major General Lachlan Macquarie sanctioned. So next stop is Victoria Barracks. So we are at the Victoria Barracks right now. So in 1851, the government sanctioned the south side of the Victoria Barracks to the British Army, that direction. Because some of the regiments of the British Army used to come and stay here in the Victoria Barracks. So they needed a place like a garden and a cricket ground to play cricket. So at that point in 1851, the 11th Devonshire Regiment was stationed over here. So they were given the task to flatten the ground and grade the ground and make a cricket ground here. So all the teams which were there in the Victoria Barracks came together and started calling them a permanent organization named the Garrison Club. And they started calling the ground the Garrison Ground. So if you see in the distance over there, you can see the lights, the stadium lights of Sydney SCG. While the British troops were enjoying the garrison grounds, the New South Wales Cricket Association was formed in 1859. Now they were organizing intercolonial matches, as Australia was a group of colonies back then, and they were conducting those matches here in Hyde Park. So Hyde Park was like an open ground back then. People could walk in and animals were grazing. Just imagine having a cricket match with people walking in and animals grazing. So they needed a place which is enclosed like a ground, which not only is fenced, but they could also charge admission. So in 1864, the Albert Park grounds opened up, and that solved all their problems. And the New South Wales Cricket Association was conducting the intercolonial matches over there. But then the Albert Park was charging them a lot of money, so they had to come back to Hyde Park again. In 1870, the garrison which was in Victoria Barracks was sent to Sudan for a war. So the fate of the ground was uncertain again. So the New South Wales Cricket Association was using the ground for 5 years and organizing their colonial matches. And in 1875, the government invested more money and made the ground better. And everybody wanted the administrative rights for the ground now that the military is not in the picture. Then the president of the New South Wales Cricket Association convinced the government to give them the administrative rights. And since then, it's history. So you see this street over here? It's called the Driver Avenue, in memory of Richard Driver, who was the president of New South Wales Cricket Association, and for him to be able to convince the government to give it to the New South Wales Cricket Association. So that's all for today. I'm sorry if I dragged it too much, but I tried my best to make it interesting. Hope you learned something about the Sydney Cricket Ground, so that next time when you come, you can look at these old buildings and know the history behind it, who are the people, what were the events which influenced the ground to be what it is today. So take care of yourself and see you in the next video.
Sorry. Good boy.